Dear students, in last class we have completed the study on grading of cables. Today we will take up location of faults in underground cables. There are two types of faults that may occur in cables. They are failure of conductor and failure of insulation. Failure of conductors are located by comparing the capacity of conductors. We know that cable consists of conductors and insulation. Let us say we are having a cable with four conductors and insulation. And these four conductors are capable of carrying current of 1000 ampere. That means this is capacity of cable. Capacity of conductor is equal to 1000 ampere by 4, that is 250 ampere. Out of four conductors in this cable, if two conductors fail, that is if they break, when two conductors in the cable fail, failing here means breaking. The capacity of cable reduces to 500 ampere. If we pass 1000 ampere if we pass 1000 ampere current through the cable, then cable heats up. Which means a cable with broken conductors which means a cable with broken conductors due to reduced capacity heats up and its temperature increases. Therefore, when temperature increases, with reduced capacity, we can say cable has failed due to breaking of conductors in it. What you must know here is heat developed is I square RT that is heat developed is inversely proportional to area of cross section of conductors in cable. When the conductors break, the effective area of conductors reduces, hence the resistance increases, and when resistance increases, for the same current flowing for the same time period, the heat developed will be more and the temperature of the conductor will become more. To locate Faults due to insulation failure. Tests are carried out. For short cables, manholes are inspected. If there is cracking sound, then there is insulation failure. But this method is not suitable for long cables. Hence, to locate fault due to insulation failure, in long cables, bridge methods are used. In this bridge method, you will be learning two ways of testing the cables. These are known as loop tests. They are Murray loop test and Worley loop test. First, we'll take Murray loop test. This test is useful when we have conductors of same size, of same capacity. As they will have same resistance per unit length. Now I will show the circuit diagram used for testing a cable using Murray loop test. Now here is the bridge used in Murray loop test. Here MO and NO are the two conductors of same size, and let us say they have got same length now. This is the bridge used for Murray loop test. This is the bridge used for testing the cable using Murray loop test. Here MO and NO are two cables of same size. R1 and R2 are variable resistors. V is bridge excitation source. We'll call the two switches here as S1 and S2. Let us say insulation of cable NO has failed at point K. That is, conductors inside cable NO are grounded. Under this condition, if we close switch S1 and S2, keeping R1 and R2 equal, since resistance of MO and NO will not be equal, the potential at M and N will also not be equal, and hence some current will flow through the galvanometer. Now, if we balance the bridge using R1 and R2, then at balance we will have R1 by R2 equal to 2L minus X upon X, or simplifying for X, we will have 2L R2 by R1 plus R2. Why we are writing this ratio here? Because we know that at balance, the product of resistances in opposite branches are equal. So R1 into Rnk is equal to R2 into Rmk. Or you can say R1 by R2 is equal to Rmk by Rnk. For same cross sectional area, Rmk and Rnk are proportional to length of cable Mk and length of cable Nk. So we can write Rmk upon Rnk equal to 2L minus x upon x. This way we have written R1 by R2 equal to 2L minus x upon x. And simplifying for x, we get 2L R2 upon R1 plus R2, where x is distance between N and fault point K. So this way we can make use of Murray loop test for locating the fault due to insulation failure in a cable. Now we will take second loop test, that is Worley loop test. In Worley loop test, a slightly modified bridge is used. This test uses slightly modified bridge. Now I will show you here the bridge used in Worley loop test. This is the bridge used in Worley loop test. You can see some modifications here. In addition to R1 and R2, you can see resistance which is variable named as R3 in series with the faulty cable. And from the end of R3, that is point N, a wire is connected to position 1 of switch S3 and position 2 of switch S3 is connected to the ground. Let us say a fault has occurred at point K in cable NO. Here let us say a fault has occurred at K in conductor NO. Here MO is another conductor of same size as that of conductor NO. Now if I throw the switch S3 to position 1, close S1, then I can make use of this bridge to measure the resistance of cable, that is RC. So I have written here. While testing cable, S1 is closed and S3 is kept in position 1 to measure resistance of cable RC. While finding the location of fault K from one end of the conductor, that is N, switch S3 will be kept in position 2 with S1 closed, and the bridge will be balanced using R1, R2 and R3. At balance, we will have the ratio of resistance R1 to R2 as 2L minus x into RC divided by R3 plus XRC. Simplifying for x, we get x equal to r1 divided by r1 plus r2 into 2l into r2 by r1 minus r3 by rc unit of length. Because x is the distance between one end of the conductor n and faulty point k of the faulty conductor. Dear students, now we have come to the end of underground cables chapter. From next class onwards, I will start new chapter. I will stop the class here. Thank you.